Hello and welcome to my predictions video for the upcoming Portuguese Grand Prix this weekend, the series in which you guys, the audience, can also get involved with following the link in the top line of the description down below. And today we are going to be taking a look at my Portuguese Grand Prix predictions. Predictions for the qualifying, predictions for the race, and one bold statement throughout the Grand Prix weekend as well. So how exactly does this series work? So once you follow the link in the top line of the description, you'll be asked for your top 5 for qualifying, your top 5 for the race, and one bold encompassing statement throughout the entire Grand Prix. Now, a little bit later on in today's episode, I'll be giving my versions of these questions as well, and there is a small little point system where you get awarded points based on your predictions, and then post-race, we end up seeing who predicted the best. And taking a look at the scoring for these categories, you will score 2 points for a correct driver in the correct position in your top 5 for qualifying, and 1 point if you have a correct driver, but in the incorrect position in the top 5. Exactly the same point scoring is done for the top 5 for the race, 2 points for the correct driver in their correct position, and 1 point for a driver in the incorrect position. And for the bold statement, you will receive 5 points if it is remotely accurate. There is obviously going to be lots of leeway, as your bold statement can be anything to do with practice, qualifying, or the race, or all of it. It can be absolutely anything you like, as bold as you like, or as completely vague as you like. I'll be scoring it, and like I said, lots and lots of leeway. And in order to get your submissions submitted, you just have to follow the link in the top line of today's description, and that will take you to the Google Docs document where it will ask you to fill out your name first, just any identifiable name or tag that you would like. When I pull up little leaderboards post-race, you can then locate your name and then your score, and then it will ask you for your selections for each of these questions. And this submission will be open up until qualifying begins, and therefore I will then remove the link from this video, so no predictions will be taken post qualifying. So if you would like to wait until all of the practice has happened on Friday and Saturday, then by all means you can do that. But if we take a look at the leaderboard across this whole season so far, there have been 38 individual entries to this contest, which is absolutely mega. And taking a look at that leaderboard, out front is Tushar Singh on 32 points, closely followed by Evan Darcy, just 4 points back, with DDH Face TYY on 27 points. I always forget how to say that name. Joe Bisho as well on 26 points, joint with Matej. And then you've got me in that second column, joint on 17 with CT Triple A, Mikey as well, and hello too. This is absolutely mega stuff. And then near the end of the leaderboards, we've got Benny 333 and HA on 8, Nick, Cosmos Trek, and Krefas Malele on 7. Apologies for any of those pronunciations of the names. It's not my strong point. But with all of that out of the way, we will take a look at my top 5 for qualifying. And for pole position for the Portimao Grand Prix, I have gone for Max Verstappen. I do think that Red Bull has faster single lap pace than the Mercedes. But P2, I have gone for Lewis Hamilton. I have been absolutely hopeless at the qualifying predictions, and quite frankly the rest of the predictions as well, but I do think it's going to be these two on the front row. Then I've gone for Sergio Perez, as I do think that Red Bull is that little bit quicker than the Mercedes. Valtteri Bottas P4, as he hasn't looked entirely comfortable, and I was miles wrong last week, or 2 weeks ago even, for the Imola Grand Prix. He qualified P8, I think I put in P3 or P4, so hopefully he can get in the top 5 this time and sort of bounce back from his Imola Grand Prix weekend. And then Lando Norris P5. He would have been on the front row, if not P3 in the Imola Grand Prix had his lap time not been deleted. So I 100% think that a top 5 is doable for Lando Norris. And then moving away from qualifying and into my top 5 for the race, to take the Grand Prix victory, I have gone for Lewis Hamilton. As we saw in Imola, that Mercedes does seem to have a little bit better race pace than the Red Bull. So I do think Hamilton, as long as he can get a good start off the line to overtake Verstappen, if he even gets pole position, then I think it will be Hamilton's race to lose. Much like we saw last year, he was supreme at the Portuguese Grand Prix, so I think he can actually come away with a victory in Sunday. In Sunday? On Sunday. And for P2, I've gone for Max Verstappen in order to keep that championship fight alive, and I do think these two drivers are just a cut above the rest. They are absolutely supreme and the best drivers of their generation. And for P3 filling out the podium, I think Valtteri Bottas is going to get his own back from last or 2 weeks ago in Imola. He is going to get on the podium and make up for that disastrous Imola Grand Prix weekend. P4, I've gone for Sergio Perez. He's going to sort of slip down, possibly have a couple mistakes. I can also vaguely see him coming outside of the top 5, but I hope not, as I've put him as P4. And then P5, I've gone for Charles Leclerc. He's going to have an absolutely mega Grand Prix and dominate the midfield. And then as for my bold statement, I have gone for both Ferraris will be out in Q2. Now that is a very bold statement from myself, as Ferrari have seemed so much stronger this year, and especially in qualifying. But I don't think they're going to do particularly well this time, and I hope, seems a bit mean to say that I hope they won't get into Q3, but for the sake of my points in the predictions, I hope they don't get into Q3. But for the sake of competition, I hope that they do. And there we go, there is the end of my predictions. Make sure to get yours in through the link in the top line of the description down below. That's the only way that I'll be accepting the submissions, as it just makes my life so much easier data collection wise. But if you would like to let me know what your predictions are or your thoughts about the upcoming Grand Prix in the comments, I do reply to most of the comments that I see, and we can engage in a little conversation. So please do that if you feel like you want to. But that's all I've got for you today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next episode with whatever and whenever I decide to make it. I'll see you guys then.